Yo, welcome back to more Koyomimonogatari episodes 9 and 10. I was about to say 7 and 8, but that was last time. Wow, we're coming to the end of this. I was gonna say something else there, but I really don't know what else to say about that. I'm just gonna see what the hell is left and how much more I struggle with this one. This one is fun to watch because it's like, okay. Especially Mountain. Mountain, like, just told so much, and it definitely stirred some thoughts about Ogi and kind of maybe the way I've looked at her at this point, and maybe if that's should be different, or really what that means for what she's gonna do next as well, and might possibly shape the way I view whatever she does next. I mean, because the last thing we saw was with Teratsuru and everything, but beats me. We'll just have to see. I mean, again, if it's like an evil thing or this like greater balance she's trying to achieve, or what her idea of it is, and her like kind of imitation of Meme and even taking his name. But I mean, clearly she's like her own thing, and even that's like still like a mystery of like why she's even, I don't know, still some things there. But yeah, I mean, I of course if she does something fucked up, I'm still gonna view it as like fucked up. It's just at least interesting to like see what her motivation is. I mean, she even said it in Mountain, like, the reason I came here was to like fix this problem with the shrine. So considering Nadeko, and I'm not sure if her like interest in Araragi was like based around that goal as well, or just kind of like a side quest that kind of she takes a personal interest in as a being, rather than just like the goal of like why she's here. I don't know, but it's cool to consider, and I love learning more about Ogi because she's like the ultimate obstacle at this point, and still such a mystery despite learning more and more. But yeah, before we get into these new ones, I want to address comments I got last time. Shout out to Thorfinn, Nitinol, and Hamster. Thorfinn and Nitinol talking about the tea ceremony thing, and this reminded me of a part of Nise. The first part of this from Thorfinn reminded me of a part of Nise that I just completely forgot about, which is like, it kind of like implies that Tsuki like pretends to believe like Araragi's lying, that she kind of like, because we know she's pretty smart, and like Thorfinn points out, like we saw with Nadeko, and she's a great student, like she probably like knows on some level, and that kind of protecting her from that, or rather like even her own subconscious or conscious on whatever level adversity towards the idea of like apparitions kind of brings her closer to the truth that she is one, that she is the immortal phoenix, as we know. And that makes a lot of sense to me on that level as well. Fuck, I don't I don't know if it's because all the weird shit in Nisa that a lot of the important stuff maybe fell through the cracks there, or it's just through this I'm realizing how many like little things and details that just fell through the cracks in general in my memory. But that's why I'm glad I have you guys, so thank you for that, because that makes sense to me as well. That part of Tsukiji, that specific reason, like why her realizing that she would be against that, that about Tsuki herself, and why on whatever level she is even like against herself, like accepting that truth, or even like fully visiting that truth, because they reveals a lot about herself, along with Araragi, protecting them, trying to keep them behind the curtain, even though it's a bit too late at this point, obviously, after Nisa. And then what Nitinol said about it, which was like viewing the tea ceremony problem like a small version of the classroom thing with Oikura. And I could see that, like both having an idea of like what the truth, or the idea of what truth or justice was, and the people around them just like refuting that, and that frustration kind of, I guess, Araragi here, even though it's obviously a much smaller issue, Araragi helping to like prevent Tsukiji from like kind of going down that path that he did, after that happened to him, which I could totally see him being worried about as well in that situation. So I appreciate that comparison. Araragi definitely trying to be a good big brother there, and protecting them in that aspect. And yeah, like Hamster says, definitely gonna try and keep Koyomi Mountain in mind. I'll probably would be wise to revisit it later, especially as Ogi, I don't want to say becomes relevant again. Ogi's kind of always relevant. She's just like always there. Even if the focus isn't on her, you're like always reminded about it. But yeah, regarding like her purpose for being here, and about the shrine itself, and I'm very curious how that's going to apply, or how through that lens, we'll see what Ogi does next. So yeah, I look forward to that, and I look forward to this episode 9 of Koyomi. Let's go. Beginning the episode in 3, 2, 1. All right. Ah, yes, this was the one we couldn't get vocals for because Maya's contract, everything. This was the first of those, which were like 2, I believe. But still a very interesting feel to it. So I assume a Shinobu episode. TORUS. I'm not sure what that means. I'll have to figure that out. December. Hello, Senjo. Oh boy. Going right off. More. Indeed. That's almost like making fun of Araragi. Hard to see what's in front of you. It's all that matters. So adorable. So dangerous. The legendary vampire kiss shot, ladies and gentlemen. One had like half frosting on it. Oh. Ah, nice. How sweet. It can't be. She's so. She cannot believe that. Hmm. Oh. Indeed. Shout out Nadeko. What about it? What? Really? Ah. Like the donuts I'm used to always seeing. What the fuck? Shinobu branch. Amazing. Oh my. Wow. I'm sold. It should be a commercial. Chap amazing. Um Is he bothered by what she said before about Senjo? Summon the Tsundere girl. That's a good point. There's finally a reason. Which is weird to say. Oh. Wow. Uh-huh. As in none for you. What a coincidence. How ideal. Oh, Jesus. I think before it was genuine, now not so much. Unless. Kaka. Is that the same thing? Ooh. Wow. Wow, that is unfair. Secrecy. And not with your magazines. Good point. True. Wow, what a comparison. Same thing, I guess. Holy shit. Yes. So cunning. Oh, okay. Sure, why not? In 5 minutes. Wow. High stakes. Let's go, Aradagi. There's a point to be made if he can and if he can't find them. And I think it's the same point if he can or can't. True. Do you always look at your shadow? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. Did we need 3 shots of that? God damn it. Yeah, go ahead. That face. Yeah. Yo, this is where she's at. Wow. Slip of the tongue. Couldn't find the last one. Hmm. Nice shot. He does. Did she eat the last one? Right. Really? The smallest within. What? Huh. Hey, you'd think you would just see that. Oh my god. What? Like that? That's true. Yeah, who knows? You hate the proof. Was one of those donuts extra sweet? Wow. In your stomach. That's the point. Jesus. Relinquish it to be selfless. That was the point. Love. Okay. Even Shinobu compared um to Nadeko's love, along with her own impression of like what Senjo could have done to the donuts compared to her own love for Araragi. This is a really good ending. Duh, but I have to say it. Wakaranai. You know, I said, I guess when they defined TORUS, and I just googled it, and yeah, it's pretty much that. It's like that donut shape. I said it's an unrelated point, but I said that's the donut I'm used to seeing. But I saw like they all had various like hole sizes. I didn't even know that was a thing, that they varied so much, or you could define one of them as a TORUS that apparently Shinobu hadn't seen. Also, another thing before I forget to say this was seeing Hanekawa's travels, the desert shot, and then by the lake or the ocean, and then not the last part when she was at the beach, but yeah, when she's just going around on her travels looking for Meme. So yeah, Shinobu in her own way, in a very like secret way, kind of demonstrated her love for Araragi. Like, it's which is funny, like after her, you know, her kind of putting on that little show of being like her being so incredulous that Senjo Gahara made the donuts for Araragi without demanding any like compensation or any money, you know, a selfless act of love. And maybe that's when Shinobu like realized that, like, oh yeah, she really loves him, and maybe that's why she wanted to go meet her finally after all this time. Or, you know, maybe she just enjoyed her donuts. But yeah, based on Hanekawa's like interpretation at the end. By the way, I love Hanekawa so much, dude. She's like, she just gets it. You know, I love when Araragi calls her and she like gives her take on it. And then there's also the point there about Araragi, you know, comparing the negotiation of like the donuts, like here, the little donuts situation with Shinobu, to I guess the negotiation when he couldn't like talk down Nadeko from ingesting the talisman. There's that point about how if he also just hid the talisman better and not just with this fucking magazines, which yeah, is a fair point. Could have asked Shinobu to hide it, and you know, even if she like just keeps it on her person, she could like go into his shadow, and that's like super safe, right? It's like, yeah, that's a good point. And you know, there's also like that moment at the very beginning where Shinobu like kind of pretends to not see Araragi. It's like, oh, it's like, you know, I guess I didn't see what's right in front of me, which we've talked about before isn't like an Araragi thing, you know, even him not realizing Nadeko's love for him, you know, and Shinobu kind of talks about the, you know, the the way that Nagoslav got toxic as well in this episode as well, along with Senjo's very gymnastic depiction of Shinobu's love for Araragi. Maybe like because Nadeko's like love for Araragi turned out to be something, you know, super dangerous to him and them. Well, to him, Shinobu being like defensive of Araragi and like checking the donuts for poison, and then finding out they're not, and then, you know, realizing that Senjo, out of, you know, her selfless act that she did for Araragi, realizing that that was true, and then her wanting to meet her, like we said, like maybe after realizing that, finally, you know, having that desire, Shinobu showing her own love in that way as well. Really sweet of Shinobu to do in her own way. And I because, you know, while it's happening, it's like funny. It's like in the end, Araragi realizing that after Hanakawa said that, along with me realizing that, because I couldn't fucking tell that at all from that, of course, even though it was technically like right there. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say about this one. Of course, feel free to share any thoughts on this one if you like, but I'm gonna move on to the next. So let's go. Beginning the episode in 3, 2, 1. I love this opening, dude. Suki. Like, this one is definitely one of my favorites. Ah. Kidoki no Rakira no. It's so catchy. Koyomi seed. All right. Oni Onichan. Yay. I like Ononoki. She still posed. Oh god. He's so unimpressed. Oh, wow. Hey. What the? Wow. I see. Got it. Uh-oh. He had to work hard. What the fuck? Oh. Yeah, please don't. All right then. Mm. Okay. So what? Yeah. Excuse me? Okay, that was good. Oh, we're here again. Tasty. FOV. No, we're just eating. Shout out to Relax. I see. You just unlimited rulebook. I can see that. Oh. Mm. Aha. An event. Oh. Loss. And what's that? Amazing. Yo. I love that. Oh my god. Yo, he's getting the Kaiganui special. The fucking squeak toy. I can't. Alright. That's good. Expect nothing. You're never disappointed. Pardon? She said 6 months. Oh, I thought she meant 6 more months. This is the... Got it. Hmm. What are you going to do? Got it. Seeds I've sown. Title drop. As if something is keeping balance. Oh my god. Oh my god. Good self-awareness. I don't know when he'll ever suss out Ogi. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for. What do you think it is? Interesting. A smile. Okay. Right. Oh, right. That's right. Love a good Hanakawa talk. Let's go. I have no idea. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Something you know when you see it. Yeah, those were Ononoki's words. Because that's a lie. You didn't know when you saw Ogi. That doesn't exist. Uh, Denied. So what stands out? Someone looking for something. The easiest thing to find is someone looking for something. Sure. Yeah, you're very easy to find. You know it when you see it. Huh. Why did she want that? Weren't supposed to meet, didn't want to see you. Ah, really? Huh. Is that right? Crazy. Yeah. What the fuck? Huh. She did that for him. Hmm. Crazy. Of course. Hmm. Thoughtful Ononoki. Nice. Hardest thing to find. Nonchalant acts of thoughtfulness. That's crazy that was her intention. I don't get an answer. Alright. Really need someone to clarify the timeline for me here because there was a point in the episode where I think, his mental, thoughts that he has, the text mentions like Taratsuru, but then, Ononoki mentions like the time he has left to live, and she said you have 6 months left. Now, I know, like, the 6 months originally was regarding the whole Nadeko situation. But it seems like they were speaking as if that was resolved, because, you know, meeting him at the end. Because now I'm like trying to figure out like where I went wrong in my, where I was kind of keeping mental tabs on when things happen. I don't know, someone help me, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Sorry, fuck that, I didn't let it go. Okay, so I did find here in the episode, because I was trying to find that part where it, like, it mentioned Taratsuru, and it was in transition here, to when he starts speaking to Hanakawa. So it seems like there was just a time jump there. I'm gonna start dropping conspiracy theories if I don't figure this shit out. But yeah, it looks like there's a time jump here, because yeah, the Taratsuru thing I see here mentions that part. So about, yeah, it says about Tatsu saving my sisters. He speaks to Hanakawa. Then Hanakawa's the one who mentions like, but then you ended up meeting him by the end, which yeah, he meets Kaiki by the end anyway, despite Ononoki's efforts throughout. I mean, they were effective. They made him easy to find, and thus he didn't run into him before that point. But yeah, I think that's what that discrepancy was for me. Okay, yeah, yeah. First of all, it is crazy that the whole time this thoughtful, just looking for something from Ononoki was to keep Araragi, make him stand out, to make him easy to find, so that he could stay away from Kaiki. Which is because yeah, because during that, it is interesting that they never encountered each other at all. We know Kaiki was taken care at the very least, and I guess it was made much easier with Ononoki helping him stand out. I guess, you know, we didn't see that, but unfortunately, not by the end of it. They did come across each other at the shrine. Though I think what Kaiki said to Araragi was important for him to hear. But I think the coolest line in this story, like when Hanakawa was breaking down everything, was saying like even when nothing is happening, when there's like no story to tell, it's still being supported by, I see here, supported by things like someone's thoughtfulness, right? And I don't know, I really appreciate that even on the surface it looks like nothing happened, you know, they didn't find anything, like they didn't know what they were looking for, because yeah, what they were looking for, the hardest thing, was something that didn't exist. That's why they didn't find anything. It's why Ononoki couldn't tell them anything. You know, we know the purpose for it. And Araragi kind of, it's funny during that, having, you know, the self-reflection of like, you know, I am dense, you know, and the realization that his peaceful life that he was living, you know, just kind of this nice kind of endless search of time he was spending with Ononoki, and just, you know, not really anything happening for him to deal with, was still being supported by something, which is true, and thus the conclusion that, you know, maybe the things that is actually the hardest thing to find were such nonchalant acts of thoughtfulness, and which I personally enjoy more than just thinking of like whatever application in the story. I mean, obviously, like from Ononoki to do that for Araragi, that, you know, just the nonchalant act of thoughtfulness of doing that for him, which is, again, yeah, a very thoughtful thing for her to do. You know, I love her doing that for him. You know, really demonstrates once again the care that she has for him, along with, you know, the things we already know, which was, you know, not wanting him to become a monster, you know, like her, which is how she feels. But I personally enjoy that, because if anything, that makes me just want to bring more awareness to the nonchalant, thoughtful things that people maybe do around me, you know, to make my life peaceful, or make our lives peaceful if we're so lucky. You know, things you don't really think about or take time to appreciate, but just, you know, bringing awareness to that gratefulness to these things that support our daily and peaceful lives, even our ability to just watch a show or watch this episode where, you know, nothing really happened, but even that was supported, you know, by something nonchalantly thoughtful. I don't know, I just, you know, that's something I personally appreciate a lot. And yeah, these two episodes were very sweet. I really like that. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. I like sweet shit. So but of course there's that part of me, even if it was like not even like, it definitely feels like Ononoki was talking about that with the balance, and then even the balance being thrown off with him, you know, not really seeing it though. It's like I'm always just like, God, it's Ogi, like they're talking about Ogi even though they're not. Like I feel like that all the time. And maybe that's me like looking for something that doesn't exist, but that's totally what that was. I feel like. But yeah, man, so yeah, we'll see what else we get shown here. Goddamn Ogi, it's just stuck in my brain. Yeah, very sweet. I love these two that we just saw, and I guess we'll be finishing this next watch I do of this, and then moving on to the next thing. Though I'm very curious how this one is gonna end, what note it will end on, or what punchline it will end on. So yeah, very much looking forward, especially now that we are in the Omega later months here in terms of Monogatari timeline. So yeah, very exciting. But regardless, as always, feel free to leave any comments if you have any about these to help my understanding, or just share how you interpreted things. That's been fun for me so far and very helpful. God, thank you. And yeah, that's it. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Once again, did I even say it? Thank you for watching. Once again, thank you for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace.